So there's this guy named Brian Johnson, and apparently he's quoted as the world's most measured human. Apparently that means he's very self-controlled or whatever, but I'd have to disagree since he couldn't resist the urge to flex his muscles in the first 5 seconds, which we all know is a sign of insecurity. I'm pretty sure every single night he cries himself to sleep thinking about what he's become. As you'll see later, he takes a lot of normal pills. And he also wants to start going into anti-aging stuff and whatever, which I don't know how possible that is. I've heard that Harvard professionals and like Harvard scientists have discovered something about how our cells can't retain DNA, and aging is just the losing of retaining your DNA, if that makes sense. But today all I really want to do is dog on his routine because I have nothing else to do with my life. Oh yeah, his video is already clickbait. It claims live up to 120 plus, which just sounds like the most poorly made pyramid scheme ever. Even kids looking up free Robux would know this is a scam. But also, another thing is that later on, he claims to, like, you don't have to follow every single thing. You can just take a little bits and, like, aspects of his morning routine to live up to 120 plus. But I'd imagine you would have to copy exactly what he's doing because he has, like, certain vitamins you need to take. Or like normal pills, maybe they're actually normal pills, but I'll get into that later. And I'm no Dr. House or Sean Murphy. I don't have a degree, so who knows, maybe this guy's like an absolute genius and I'm gonna look stupid in my grave later on. But let's get into it. I hope you enjoy this video.
2.5 years ago, I've become the most measured person in history. And I think the health markers we've achieved are pretty remarkable.
I don't think you're very self-controlled. Look at the table, man. Your bathroom table to the multi-million-dollar mansion you cry yourself to sleep in because of your insecurities on looking old is looking really messy, man. What happened to you? I'm ashamed. For a guy seeking immortality, you certainly don't seem to be worthy of it.
I'm going to show you everything I do step by step. So let's get going. The first thing I'm going to do is use this Braun thermal scan device. I measure my inner ear temperature every day. I do this as a safety and efficacy check for various therapies we're doing. If I'm running hot, then we know it's an indicator of something.
Honestly, I think he's just a major hypochondriac who doesn't really want to admit it. And it's okay to admit your shortcomings, man. Just be honest about it. You can't just tell everyone that they can reverse their aging process. That's just not a thing the normal average person can do without proper and very expensive medical assistance, which this guy does have, but he's a millionaire. And also, what if this is all for nothing? Just live your life the way you want to and let the scientists figure it all out. So you're telling me that if I just measured my ear temperature every single day, that can contribute to reversing the aging process? That's a really deceptive way to like tell the audience to like do all these things so that way they can like age, or just farming view hours. Like, that's just not nice, man.
I run around 95.5 or 96. It's a result of my dietary protocol. After this, I'll flip on this UV light. This is 10,000 lux at 12 inches. I turn this on and I usually just enjoy thinking about the day for a minute.
Damn, even anti-aging millionaires aren't immune to editing errors. Also, what the hell is the point of staring into a mirror? My game theory here is probably right, and he does have insecurities, and he either just stares into the mirror to contemplate his life decisions, or to convince himself that every single girl that is graced by his magical, godly, holy presence wants to just scarf down his cock and balls.
Set circadian rhythm, it improves sleep. After the light exposure, I'll take
his normal pills, which he really does need. He's a little bit odd in basking in frickin' UV light, which is apparently known to increase the likelihood of having cancer. So any bit of healing with this reverse curse technique of yours has just jumped off and killed itself after basking in the UV light.
5 minutes of light therapy. It's blue light and it keeps my complexion clear. 5 minutes, and it's also a nice time to...
So this guy flashbangs himself every single day with blue light, which again, according to some credible sources, does harm your skin depending on the wavelengths and exposure, but I'm pretty sure the exposure alone would just pretty much eviscerate him, and his head would turn into like a pile of ashes and a pair of eyes, like straight out of a Looney Tunes cartoon.
Let's start the next part of the morning. My morning routine is about 3 to 4 hours. It varies on a given day. Sometimes I go a little faster, sometimes I go a little slower. I always wake up naturally, so it's somewhere between 4:30 and 6 a.m. I wake up. I go to bed at the same time.
What a liar. You live in Utah and the sun doesn't rise until around 6:38 a.m. in Utah, and the sun is already shining brightly. Also, what the fuck? A 3 to 4 hour morning routine? My fellow brother in Christ, I can't spend 3 to 4 hours doing a morning routine even if I tried, including just playing games. You are capping out of your ass, Brian. Get a hold of yourself. Be real. You're in a simulation.
Sometimes the analysis is we look at the data we've acquired, we do some sort of assessment on the therapy, and then we implement it. But my job is to basically go through this full process from identifying the organ to looking at...
Ah, okay, so he's basically a human experiment. Gotcha. Dude, you don't have to do all this. Taking pills and crap isn't gonna make you like this wizard of like immortality and like anti-aging and stuff. You can't make, eventually everyone is going to die. Like, you just have to face that.
On what I do, and then you can hopefully pull nuggets from it here and there on what you want to do, but you definitely don't need to do the entirety of my routine.
Okay, so what's the point of the video then? Is it to flex on people? Is it to encourage people to just take a whole random assortment of pills that you were probably sponsored by? I certainly hope not. Taking normal pills and blasting yourself with carcinogenic cancer rays shouldn't be encouraged unless you love feeling miserable.
Next is preparing the morning pills. Every 2 weeks, my team organizes all the pills.
Plot twist, this guy is actually schizo and his entire team is just a bunch of nurses lying to him about the pills and telling him that they'll give him immortality, when in actuality they're just making him more calm so he doesn't go out and rampage like Godzilla. I'm really convinced this guy is actually just taking normal pills, but he's a LARPer who doesn't actually have any real talents. He just has a bunch of money, but he wants to pretend that he's something that he isn't. So he just does all these random things like taking iron pills and like taking calcium pills, taking sensu beans, taking like whatever the crap he can, just so that way he can just reverse his aging process when he can just grow up and then die. Like that's probably one of the best things that can happen to you, like if you just die, because in the end there's like really no point. I'm getting on like a side tangent, but point is, you don't have to take all these pills just to look cool and like flex on everyone, going like, hey, I've achieved immortality. I'm gonna be staying in this godforsaken corporeal dimension where Twitter and Tumblr and like Reddit exist.
I think last time we reported it was something like over 50, maybe 60. That looks like a lot more. So I'm not sure what's going on here. We have very little room for more.
Jesus Christ, this guy takes more pills in a day than the amount of times I've used the word "the" last year. He's treating them pills like sensu beans. He really wants to reverse the aging process, but with the amount of pills he's taking, he just looks like he's 2 folds his age.
And the puree I find to be a lot, well, I like it for a lot of reasons. I know people look at it and they say it's a green goop and they like to make fun of it. It's really helpful to have it in this blended.
God damn it, bro. It's about to be 11 a.m. at this rate. The sun is straight up giving a kamehameha to your pool and you still haven't eaten breakfast yet.
Like the super veggie, the puree, and then the whole pieces. Same with nutty pudding. And I wonder how people in the future will look back at me. If they're like, yeah.
Damn, that recipe sucked shit so badly that they had to cut out the part where he throws up after eating the thing.
27 minutes. We got it all done. I didn't do as much high intensity exercise as I normally do.
Bro, it's already the goddamn afternoon in the background. Look at this. It has like the yellowish light that the sun gives off during the afternoon. But then again, this guy definitely has more than 24 hours in a day. I mean, look at him. He's an Adonis. And then he goes into a lecture about how you kids gotta eat your veggies.
Final thing is I'm preparing for my son Talmadge to go to school in 2 months. He's my best friend. We do everything together. I'm beginning to plan what I'm going to do when he's not here. And so I have a solution. Talmadge, do you want to have breakfast with me today?
I knew it! He was literally taking normal pills! I told you so! I told you! So, in the script, I didn't really write an outro, but all I have to say is I think this guy is kind of schizo, and I think that he just needs his normal pills. Who am I to make fun of a mentally ill person, right? Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video, and have a good day, and bye!